Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Wednesday, January 8th. So, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, it's going to be a short video to start with because I got to get a shower. I have a doctor's appointment today for a checkup with my primary, and then I'll have another doctor's appointment coming up to do the echocardiogram. It takes about an hour to find out where my that heart number is. Right now, it's at 30, or it was. Hopefully, it's better. And then I'll have a cardiac doctor's appointment a couple days after that. But getting back to what are we going to talk about today? And today is the direction of the channel because you guys are so important when it comes to that. So I'm trying to feel things out. Things have been slow, so we haven't had a lot of repair videos. And I don't know if it would interest you guys or not, the tractor videos, because I mean, this is kind of a small engine repair channel. We're finishing up a Ferguson with a hydraulic transmission oil leaks. There's a seal we had to split in half. Cloud's getting that back together. We've got a Ford Jubilee that's in the shop that the customer said won't run. Do what you got to. And supposedly it was running just shortly ago. Well, I got news for you. That tractor ain't running probably 4 or 5 years. Just the smell of the varnish in the fuel tank. And then we went and picked up a long tractor that the guy had run out of fuel and it's got hydraulic issues. So we have to tackle the fuel first, and that is getting the fuel to the injectors so we can at least get it to fire up to even remotely get close to finding out what's going on with the hydraulics. And then we have one coming. I talked with a guy last night. He's a friend of mine. He's willing to pay us to go move a tractor that the actual front spindle is broke, and so it's got the two back tires and one front. Yep, we're just moving it back to his shop. So stay tuned. We'll talk about more in the video. But like I say, it's not going to be that long. So already welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and yes, this is the weekday. Today is Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. So the direction of the shop, you know, I know it's a small engine repair channel per se, right? But the channel is Northern Europe Parts. And I want you guys' take. I mean, does it matter what we're working on? I should say that Claude is working on, because he allows me to do a few things. It doesn't require any lifting or pulling or tugging. But like the part one, I got to get him taught where the camera is. Part two is when the brass gear comes in, putting it all back together. That could be a video for people that are struggling with how to replace that brass gear in the front. Or what to look for, when your snowblower, the augers start making a grinding noise. But you have to be careful, again, when you're out and you're talking to customers, because the customer with that snowblower said, I think it needs a belt. So I asked him why he thought it needed a belt. And he said, because he got a rock caught in it and it smoked the belt and it had a growling noise. Well, the minute he said a growling noise, I pretty much had figured out it was the gear. And we're going to change the belt anyway, because he got a spot on it where it just come right to a stop. But he had gotten the rock out before we got there. But it was running and driving, so that's nice, because Claude walked it right up onto the trailer. And that just goes to show you that the customer is not always 100% right when they're telling you stuff. Kind of like that Jubilee in the intro. The guy was saying they had it running a couple months ago and were using it for moving ground bales. They didn't have that girl running. But Claude's got it running. We just replaced 2 front tires on it. He's got a few other things because it's not charging. I told Claude, I said, you can't go overboard on it because we both know who the owner is, and I don't want to own the tractor. You have to do this as a business owner on every piece that comes in. And it's helpful if you know who the owner is you have to do enough so that it's accomplishing your goals. But you can't make it back into pristine condition if the person can't afford to have it that way. And as I explained to Claude the other day, I said, we've owned too many things. I don't want to own this. I'd rather have the cash in the bank to pay bills. Because since me going in, it's been a big hit to the business where Claude has been on his own. And he one-man band. Jason, I don't know how you do it. But I mean, when I finally come to enough, I was talking to Claude on the phone in my hospital bed where I could hardly move and telling him what checks to write for which accounts to write. So when you look at a piece of equipment and how much it's going to take to fix it, and you know who that person is, that has to go into what your thought process is when you start to decide whether you're going to take that repair on or not. I've had folks show up and want stuff fixed, and I knew they didn't have a pot to piss in. And depending upon who it is, because it's going to be a charitable donation, depends on whether I do it or not. Because I do stuff for people for nothing. Or just parts. Yes, I still have to pay Claude. And I still have to pay to run the shop. But I've always been, if you put out good, you'll get good back, right? You can't always be dollar and cents. That's a good thing to think about. If you're all dollars and cents, because I think running a shop, you have to be, for your customer, very helpful, handy. But you also have to be one that they know gives back to the community. You know, it doesn't need to be known throughout the community, because I'll be honest with you, the ones that I do for free are just parts. We don't broadcast that. If we broadcast that, we'd have every Tom, Dick, and Harry on this doorstep wanting their stuff fixed for nothing. But we do try to help people out as much as we can. But as you guys know, you still have the same bills. You know, especially like during this kind of weather at just above zero, you've got the heating costs, the electrical, you know, you name it. There's always somebody standing there with their hand out, right? So in the comments, let me know, is that stuff you want to see? You know, of working on tractors, because we haven't had enough snow to speak of. We finally got probably 8 inches. But that's the first snowblower to roll in this winter. The very first. And that's why I decided to do an adjunct with the tractors during the winter months, because it is very slow for us. We're not in a prime location in town where, you know, everybody knows you. We're in the rural part, but like we just picked up another snowblower that we can do a video on yesterday. I forgot about that. But she had heard in a See, Tractor Supply puts our name out quite a bit too. But she was in a small store somewhere, and she said that you guys' name come up is highly recommended. And that's, if you're going to run a shop, you need to have a good name. You got to have a good name and be fair with customers, right? That's why, I've never become rich, because I'm not interested in the almighty dollar. I'm interested in friendships. I'm interested in relationships, building them, and making a living. So, on that note, like I say, I told you it's going to be short. I need to grab a shower and so forth. Put in the comments things that you would like to see. That if you're a do-it-yourselfer, or you guys watch the channel and don't have a repair shop, what are things that would be helpful to show you how to? That would probably be the biggest. I mean, you take Jason. Jason is a whiz, Yes, you are. I mean, you've been doing it for a long time, and it comes second nature now, right? Amos, I know you're pretty handy with things. And Peter, you're the same way. Randy, Steve, Mays, you guys are all really good. But for you guys that are doing it at home, or you're doing it part-time, and it's nice to see a video of what you're going to find before you even tear the unit apart, let me know. I've got some junk units, so even if we had to tear apart a junk unit to show you what's going on with it and how to correct it. So on that note, you guys have a great Wednesday. It'll be longer tomorrow, but today I got to get this knocked out. I hate being in a hurry. I'd hoped to be up at 3 this morning. I've been getting up at midnight to 3 o'clock with this unit. But this morning I slept in till 5. So by the time you do a video, you edit it, get a shower, and then get to work, and then get to the doctor's appointment. Kind of slim pickings on. All right, guys.